In today's tutorial video, we're looking at a horizontal design that's been raised up in a white container. If this is something that you would like to learn how to do for Christmas, then keep watching today's tutorial. Welcome back to another tutorial for Christmas 2024. If you haven't been here before, my name is Sharon Dower and welcome to my channel. Now, recently I posted a video which I can link here, which was a horizontal design using some really big blooms, and it's been one of the most popular videos that I've produced over Christmas. So I'm going to replicate it, but with a different set of flowers, in the hope that maybe you will be able to do this at home. The previous video had a round flat container. This time I'm using a raised container. Now this one is a fairly modern container. This one came from Tesco's, which is a shop here in the UK, and it's by a lady that does lots of cleaning hacks, and I can't think what her name is now, but if you can't find this one, you might find something very similar. But this sort of modern compote style container is really quite fashionable, and I'm going to use it with floral foam. And I've got roughly about 2/3 of a block, and because the design is horizontal with the majority of the flowers coming this way, I've turned my foam, or I'm working with my foam sideways. So normally if we were doing a front facing arrangement, there would be the majority of the flowers coming from the front, but this time everything is coming, or the majority is coming from the side. And I've chosen a very soft dusky pink, rose gold sort of colour combination, mainly because I have a really lovely lily that's just about starting to open that I thought I would share with you today, and there's a very small amount of blush pink. So I'm going to team that up with some novelty Christmas decorations, and if you've been part of the online course, which you can still participate in, then you will have seen these once before. And I'm going to team those up with some silvers and some whites. And what I'm going to start by doing first of all is by placing 2 candles into my floral foam. Now you can use a plastic little holder for the bottom of the candle, but I'm going to push them straight into the foam. Now these candles have been used several times over the last couple of weeks, and they are looking a little bit battered. But what I've done is I've sat them off center because my design isn't symmetrical, so I don't want my candles in the middle. And I've sat these in facing you, so the longer side of my arrangement is going to come that side. So I've offset them from the middle, and I've still got plenty of surface area on the top and on the side to get my flowers into. But basically the candles are towards the back of the arrangement, and then I'm going to come out this way on the side. Now I've chosen to start the longer part of my arrangement with some of those branches that you will probably have seen a few times by now. This is the snowy twigs. These I brought in ready done, but you can do this quite easily with some ordinary aerosol snow that you can buy in any homeware store. And I'm going to make this quite long. Ideally, you want to be at least twice the height of your container, but this is probably a lot longer. And this would look fantastic on either side of the mantelpiece. It would work great on an altar, and you could have a matching pair on either side, or it's going to work quite nicely at home for you. I've started back in my foam, and I've edged forward slightly so that the design gets 3 dimension. We don't want that squashed arrangement that looks like it's been sat up against a wall. And then at the back, I'm going to start creating the shorter side, which is going to be roughly half the distance of this side here. And that gives us our very traditional proportions. Because I've got candles, I want to be a bit wary of bringing anything too close to the candles itself. If you notice why I'm messing around here with scissors, I've picked up the wrong scissors, and I'm not used to working with this one. I'm contemplating, do I put it down and pick up my secateurs? But back to the design. So we longer this side, and remember that if you're asymmetric, you're not measuring from the middle, you're measuring from the candle placement. So we have this length here. I've roughly estimated what half that distance is to give me the shorter side, and they're just rough estimations. You don't have to be perfect, and you don't have to measure it. To add in some extra texture and greenery on the longer side, I'm going to use some of the Nordman pine. Now the Nordman pine is one of the non-drop pines that you'll have for your Christmas tree. And then I'm going to carry that colour so that we're bringing the greenery all the way through over onto the other side. And because the other side is shorter, I can have shorter pieces mixed in there amongst the white twigs. So let's bring some pieces from one side to the other. Now I'm only using one type of greenery at the moment, and this is this nice dark green pine. If you're using a mixture, then you can mix the placements of the greenery. And to create that depth, I've brought my greenery out towards the front and I've angled it down slightly. Just going to adjust this one, just so that you can't see that foam underneath. And with the smaller pieces of greenery that are left on that branch, I can use them up here at the back just to start covering the floral foam. I've also got, I think I just said I've only got one type of greenery, but that was a lie, because I do have some pittosporum here as well that's got a really light dusted, almost like an iridescent coating of silver. And I want to use that just nestled in amongst that greenery so that we have a different texture. And I'm linking the candles at the back, the silver candles, to the arrangement itself. And that's what floral design is about, is linking all the different colours and the textures together. Now if we just take a couple of minutes to think about what I've done, I've got a flat layer of greenery on the base, and then I've got a flat layer of the pittosporum that has dyed silver. So now I need to bring in some extra bits of the dark green pine so that we don't have those very visible lines within the arrangement. I need to mix things through, but I find it much easier to start low down in the foam, cover the base, and then start working your way up, because you don't have to worry about feeding your greenery in underneath later on. And then I'm going to do the same with a couple more bits of the pittosporum, just link that through there at the top, and we've got a really lovely shape. This time I've got the addition of the two candles, and I haven't covered all of the floral foam, but that's going to give me a good start to the arrangement and quite an even distribution of the colours. And I'm just going to pop in a couple more pieces of the pittosporum before I turn it back round, because I've been working at it from the back. Now longer, pointier materials like this generally work much better towards the outside of the arrangement because they're line material and they make your eye travel outwards. But to give me a link with white colour, so it connects with the outside and it connects with my container, I'm going to use the dyed grevillea. Now this will be in most florist shops this time of the year. You can get it in lots of different colours, and it's nearly always available around the autumn time, especially at Halloween. It's nearly always around in the autumn time, and because it's been dyed, or it's actually been painted, it lasts for ages. So if you see this in the shops, you might even pick it up in a mixed bunch in a flower shop. It's a really good one to invest in. So this is grevillea, and a couple of pieces left, right, and in the centre. And I'm going to have pretty much all of the outline of my arrangement done. I've still got to work on covering the back, but that's a lovely shape there. Now don't rush to put your flowers in. Get your shape in, get your width, your height, and your length in, so you've got a great three-dimensional arrangement. And then, because my lily is the bigger flower, that is going to form my focal point. And my focal point is just in front of the candles. The more dominant section is 2/3 of the way along, and then we continue this way 1/3. And I've removed all of the pollen from the open lily. This will probably be another day before I can get inside and get that pollen out, and that's important because we don't want it to damage our soft furnishings at home. And then from a previous arrangement that I've made, I've got some lovely white blooms. Now scale wise, they're in keeping with my lovely lily, but they are a bit short because I've used them here for one of the evening classes. But this one is going to give me the longer flower. And traditionally we don't put our big flowers towards the end, but I do have a softer, smaller flower coming in the minute and being added on after. I always encourage you to have the bigger flowers towards the focal point. But what these are going to do is to create that visual line that's going to step your eye and bring your eye from the outside right the way through to the middle. And they're just about long enough to create that look that I want to achieve. And just nestled in the front there, alongside the lily, is one of my chrysanthemum blooms. And now you can appreciate why I put that foam on the side, because there's a lot of material coming in from this position rather than from the front. And then what I'm going to do is add in a really lovely, almost matches my top, soft coloured lisianthus. And this is going to give me that softer look right towards the outside. So what we almost want to do in an arrangement, that's a terrible mouthful. It took me 3 goes to say that. In an arrangement is to start with a smaller flower towards the outside, or line material like this one here. And then we step down and we come to bigger flowers towards the focal point, because that's generally more pleasing for the eye. So let's just sort of continue as we're going, stepping them down as we come to the focal point. This one was snapped, so it's a bit shorter. That can tuck in underneath. And then I'm going to step that lovely soft shade of pink towards the focal point and around the focal point and off to one side. Now, remember, with an asymmetrical design like this, so a design that isn't balanced equally on either side, your focal point is slightly off center towards the front, which is why I started off putting those candles in towards one side of the foam rather than towards the middle. And that's why lots of people can't get the proportions right when they're making an asymmetrical design. It's because they aim everything towards the middle, and you need to be slightly offset in your floral foam. Other than filling in the gaps and adding some greenery in the back, I'm not going to add any more flowers into there. But what I do have to pick up on that nice soft pink is these lovely little Christmas decorations. Now, these are designed to hang upside down on your Christmas tree, just like that. I think they're meant to be pretty little icicles. A couple of the little icicle decorations have been put onto longer kebab sticks, which means the colour will come all the way to the end. And then with the shorter ones, I can bring them right the way around the front. Now, these are just Christmas decorations. I've taken off that little clasp that was on the top and replaced it with a kebab stick just by gluing it onto the bottom. And it's quite a nice way of introducing a little bit of Christmas sparkle without spending a huge amount of money on decorations that are designed especially for floral design. So that gives an idea of how the arrangement has come together. There's one stem of lisianthus, 3 big blooms, and that lovely open lily. Remember to leave some space around that lily so that it can open up and not get damaged. And just as I finish off the back by covering all of the floral foam, I'm going to remind you to stay to the end, because if you stay to the end, you'll see close-ups of the finished design and all the individual flowers. I would love you to subscribe to the channel, because only 30% of the viewers are subscribed, and that's a lot of viewers that aren't subscribed to the channel. It doesn't cost anything, and it does show YouTube that people are interested in watching the videos. And don't forget to share with your friends and family. Comment in the box below. Let me know what you would like me to teach you in 2025, and let me know where you're watching from, because I find that absolutely fascinating. So thank you as ever for joining me today. I hope you've liked this one. A little bit of a different colour combination from your traditional reds and greens. I look forward to seeing you for the next video very soon. Thanks for watching, and goodbye for now.